Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me again. I have another dragging video. So without further ado, let's get started. We're in France, honey, and we're dealing with Louis Vuitton, honey. So let's get started. The first location is the Louis Vuitton boutique in Strasbourg. So here we go. It's a French review that's been translated into English. And then the person goes like this. I purchased a product on the Friday before the weekend of Pentecost, okay? And we were told it should be received in the boutique. The SA gave us his card and it was a good contact. On Whit Monday, the boutique was open, of course, but the SA does not answer messages about the purchase of the bag. I go through the telephone service to get the stock directly. They answer the phone at Louis Vuitton, but they tell me it's forbidden to reserve a product, but it is in stock. We traveled 70 kilometers, oh my god, and arrived at the boutique. The bag is already reserved and it's the only one in stock. The SA we saw on Friday didn't even deign to speak to us. We were told it's like that. There's nothing we can do. If we told you it was in stock, we couldn't do anything for you. Of course, the boutique must have made big numbers on the weekend. Even though we're customers of the store, we will never live up to the ones that they must have had. I think that even if they will not see us in their boutique again, it will not make them hot or cold. Okay, so a few things. First of all, that sucks. Okay, so what, like I said, the original French review. So I read the French review as well. Just to make sure I understood it, because the translation was a little bit off in some parts. But basically, the person had purchased the bag and reserved it, but then it seems that the bag had already been snatched and someone else reserved the bag at the boutique, and they didn't want to solve the issue. Like I said before, they really don't like, particularly in really touristy locations in France and Europe, generally speaking. I feel like touristy places in Europe, they really don't like reserving items, and they don't like reserving them, they don't like ordering them. I think maybe if you blow a big bag, but they really don't like doing it, and it will end up in tears. I mean, this is not a good experience, and the SA takes their card, is happy, yeah, we're gonna make this happen. And then they go to the store and the SA is like, girl, honey, you are Casper. I don't see you. I'm not checking for you. You're blanked. Yeah, that is not a good thing. The next dragging review is also from the Strasbourg boutique of Louis Vuitton. It's an English language review and goes as follows. I was there in December to buy the Neverfull, this was last year, with the cherry interior, since it was sold out everywhere I went in Paris. I walked in the store knowing exactly what I wanted, and they said they had it. I said I'd buy it right there and then. The staff members then said I wasn't allowed to buy just one item, which I know is incorrect because I was in Paris at two LV stores, and that's not the case. At any rate, my husband picked out a cologne and we were good to go. For some reason, everyone else was being serviced before us, so we awkwardly stood there for about 20 minutes before being wrung out. When we were finally checked out, the woman handed us the bag. It was raining outside. Everyone else paying was given a plastic cover over their bags. We asked the woman to add a cover, which she did, and it was ripped, so it didn't actually cover the bag. This was a very frustrating experience. I would not recommend this LV boutique. Okay, so first of all, she shouldn't have had that experience, but read between the lines, okay, of her review. She says here that she was looking for the Neverfull with the cherry red interior. She looks for it in Paris, she doesn't find it. Notice that she doesn't say anything about Paris trying to make it happen or anything. Remember what I told you. They don't want to reserve items, okay? They really don't want to do it, and they are not, and I mean, I'm trying to think, this is probably a canvas Neverfull. I mean, they're not really exactly going to be like, oh my God, we're so excited, let's help you. So she didn't get any help in Paris. She ends up in Strasbourg, and they have it, and then they try and pull a stunt on her. They try and pull a magic trick. Okay, the essay is like, bibbity bobbity boo, go pick up something else. I want to see things from you. And then they fall for the magic trick, okay, the bibbity bobbity boo magic trick, and then her husband picks out a fragrance, a men's fragrance. and then they're just being blanked and ignored. And remember what I said. Remember what I said from my mistakes when I was shopping in January, when I was shopping in Paris in January. When you make it clear that you are only there to pick up one item, it's like watching your laptop or desktop shut down. Like the SA is tired, honey, with you and your monogram wig because you're only going to buy one item. They don't want to help and they don't want to show you things. When you are shopping in Paris, and even if you're just going there to buy maybe like, you know, like a few bits and bobs like sunglasses, fashion jewelry, earrings, and maybe an SLG, just be like, oh hey, you know, I'd like to see, you know, show me some, you know, sunglasses and perfume, show me a few things you think I'd like, something like that. Because I think if you say I just want to buy one thing, particularly there, they're just going to shut down and they're just like, okay. And remember what I said, she actually does things the right way. Remember what I said in my tips? I said for shopping in Paris, particularly at Louis Vuitton, because I feel like in Louis Vuitton and France in general, but I feel like at Louis Vuitton, they really want you to know that you're going to buy something. She knew what she wanted to buy. She said, here, walked into the store knowing exactly what I wanted. They said they had it. I said I'd buy it right there and then. So she was actually a good client. She's not a time-wasting client. She's not like, oh, show me everything and I'm not gonna buy anything. She's not like that. She's not like that. But I still think you need to be like, oh yeah, I'm interested in that. By the way, do you have other things? Oh, what's that? Okay, I might be interested in that as well, and pick that up as well. So if you're gonna buy a perfume, or you're gonna buy some sunglasses, or maybe you're gonna pick up the key pouch as well, you know, start making the SA busy, okay? Because I think that the problem there is, again, before you moan and say I'm blaming her, I'm not blaming her. She was a good LV client, but she went to a store where they basically were like, we can't sell her any other items because she only wants the never full with a cherry red like interior. So they were tired. You need to not, even if you're just there for one thing, you need to be like, oh, I want to, you know, see this. I want to see this, but I also want to look around and see if I like anything else. Something like that. Make it sound better than, you know, how I just made it sound. But I think something like that is good. Okay, I feel bad for her because I feel like she was treated badly. She, you know, was a good LV client. She wasn't there to waste time, and they were like, girl, bye. Go tell your husband to go pick up some cologne. I've never heard that, and that is not true. You do not have to pick up other items. Like I said, they pulled a magic trick. Okay, that's a Harry Houdini magic trick, honey, that they pulled on her. She wanted her never full, she got her never full, but then they ignored her, and then they're just like, okay, whatever, and then they didn't give her the cover. A mess, a raggedy hot mess. No, I am definitely not a fan of that treatment. Okay, the next boutique is still Louis Vuitton Strasbourg. Honey, Louis Vuitton Strasbourg is being dragged so hard. So 4 months ago, this is a German review, but it's translated into English. I called there 3 times to ask if it was possible to reserve something so I didn't have to drive 2 hours there unnecessarily. I think we know where this is going. Since I don't speak French, I asked both times if it would be possible to communicate in English. Both times they hung up with another word. I mean, oh my God, like what? The last time I was in the boutique, the gentleman was very happy to receive my money, and then she puts an emoji. It's a great thing. You know, I think this is bang out of order. The Strasbourg location, they do get lots of clients from Germany. So I find it very strange that they wouldn't have like a German speaking essay, like an essay that speaks German and French. And why hung up? Like why would you hang up on the client? I think she was just calling to be polite to say, would it be possible to communicate in English? I feel like something I've noticed with shopping in France, generally speaking, is like I've said, just say bonjour and then start speaking in English and then start speaking in English at the high-end luxury boutiques. She was being respectful by asking if she, because I don't speak French, can we communicate in English? She's being respectful, but I think you should just say hello, bonjour, whatever, and then just go straight into English if you don't speak French. And even with me, like, getting ready to go there, I've been watching like more French documentaries on Netflix. Recently I've been watching a bunch of French documentaries on Netflix, and I watch them with English subtitles. So even with me, I still need to see English subtitles, or even if the audio track is in French, or I need to see French language subtitles, even if the audio track is in French. So it's not like the language thing is an issue, and the language barrier can be, I think, uncomfortable for a lot of people, because you're like, okay, there's a language barrier, I hope that I can be understood, and then instead they hung up on her. That is bang out of order and absolutely unacceptable and wrong. And then the final dragging review is from Louis Vuitton Strasbourg, honey. Okay, Louis Vuitton Strasbourg has been dragged from top to bottom today. More than shameful. This was a more than shameful welcome from the security guard, who allows himself to say to people who are waiting, quote, if you're here to buy a bracelet that's 200 and 300 euros, it's not worth it. We don't have any more, unquote. Great. This is great for a first contact with customers. I mean, that is outrageous. I mean, that is outrageous. I think I've said it before, but a lot of security guards, like in luxury boutiques in Paris and France, are like proper rude, and many of them don't speak English. And I've seen some yell at clients in queues, and then telling clients like, if you're just here to buy a bracelet, 200, 300 euro bracelet, it's not worth it. We don't have any more. Well, you don't know what people are there to do. Okay, boo-boo, you do not know that. And even if someone is there to buy a 200 euro or 300 euro bracelet, maybe they'll go in there thinking, I'm just going to spend 200, 300 euros. Maybe they'll see other items that they like, and then they might add other items. Not everyone goes in there with like a rigid list. Some people might see, hey, there's they're the Louisa earrings, or they're the Louise earrings, I'm going to buy them. And they'll be like, oh, there's something else I like. Oh, there's something else I like. So I think one of the biggest things, like I've said it before and I will say it again, is always, this final dragon story is a good example of always start with the most expensive item first, like that you're going to pick up, and then be like, hey, can you show me other things that you think I would like? I feel like that's also a good thing. I was doing that at Louis Vuitton after I went the first time, then the second time. I told the SA, oh, is there anything else you think I'd like? Then he'd be like, well, do you like this, or do you like that? Because I feel like you need to kind of do that, because I feel like when it's very rigid and you're just like, I am only here to buy this, they're like, I can't upsell this person, I can't sell them more things, I'm tired, they're not gonna buy any other items. Okay, so let's just move on and find other people to sell to. And it's a really harsh reality. I want to chat about something else, but before we go any further, please make sure you're fully subscribed, you hit notifications, honey, and make sure that you join my Facebook group. Link below, and follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Just had to get that out. Okay, go follow me on my socials and subscribe. But something that I wanted to talk about, which I think is also kind of connected here, is people's expectations of shopping in really, really, really touristy places. Strasbourg is very touristy. Lots of people from Germany who shop there, like I said, and also there are lots of tourists from other parts of the EU as well who shop there as well. So in really touristy places, I found it doesn't really matter what part of Europe, not just France, even the UK and other places. I think that in really touristy places, people have to understand that, like, when you're shopping in a touristy place, there is someone who's going to replace you tomorrow or in a few hours, even if you don't buy the item. In a lot of other dragging reviews for other brands, not just Big LV, Big H, Big C, people say things like, well, how come, like, I went here and I wanted to pick up something, it was like they didn't want to sell me the item, and they didn't want to, sell me anything, like my money's not good enough for them or whatever. I have found that, generally speaking, with the shopping scene in Europe in the really touristy places, if you are just buying one thing, like one item, and you make it clear you're only buying one thing, and it's not like a super pricey item, I feel like they just don't want to really try to like connect with you, because they feel like they can't upsell you other things. It's not a judgment necessarily that you don't have money and, oh, this person doesn't have any money to spend, but it's more like they think, oh, well, that person's not going to buy any other other stuff, so I don't want to like waste time with that person. I'd rather focus on more profitable clients who are going to help me reach my targets for the day. And I feel like that's the reality of luxury shopping in 2022, and now we're heading into 2023. I'm not saying it's right, so don't come for me and moan and complain about it, but I'm just saying that is where we are. And another thing is, you might be like, well, you know, I'm helping them and they don't want to make money from me. They don't care, particularly if you're not going to spend a lot, only because they know that tomorrow they're going to get someone else. In a few hours they'll get someone else, particularly in the very touristy areas. So like the Avenue Montaigne boutiques, the Rue Saint-Honoré boutiques as well, the Galerie Lafayette, Printemps, La Samaritaine concessions in Paris, or even in London, like Sloane Street, New Bond Street, Harrods and Selfridges, like places like that. They are so touristy and so popular with tourists. Like every hour there are going to be new tourists, new clients coming in. So you might be like, well, they don't want to show me things, they don't want to sell things to me, so they think they, you know, they don't need my money or whatever, and they're so rude in there. They do not care if you are spending a very, very small amount. So you're not necessarily going to get like stellar customer service, really incredible customer service. I thought my phone was ringing there. You're not going to get like stellar customer service and really incredible customer service for that reason. I'm not saying it's right, okay, but I'm just saying that is the reality of luxury shopping today. There's so many people who want to shop at these brands. Even right now when things are quiet, like things are quiet, generally speaking, I've been chatting to many people who are in Paris at the moment trying to score, and the situation is like basically similar to how it always is. It's really, really busy. So even though it's maybe quiet, it's still busy. There's still many people buying luxury goods and buying luxury items. So that's not to say that your money isn't valuable and you're not valuable. Of course you are. You're a child of God. You're a human being. You are valuable. But in a luxury context, they're not going to break their bags for people who are buying something which maybe the SA might think is a small item. Don't shoot the messenger, don't come for me. I am just saying that is one reason why we're seeing so many people who are so angry about their treatment, particularly at this boutique. They keep trying to reserve items, okay? Like, oh, I want to reserve this item. Now, if you think about it, the person is reserving an item, but they have not paid for it up front. As far as I'm concerned with how Louis Vuitton in France works in that situation, maybe with the exception of the other person. So like, oh, I want to reserve this. And then obviously when you go to get the bag, you pay for the item. But as far as they're concerned, the merchandise hasn't been sold. So they're like, well, why should we reserve it when it's a busy Louis Vuitton boutique? This is a very a big store, I think, as well. It has more than 400 reviews. They know that they're going to get tourists who are going to come after you have called and after you've sent your email, who will want to purchase that bag. So basically, they're holding inventory that they haven't been paid for, yet, for someone who hasn't arrived yet, when they could sell it to someone else who's just going to walk in and buy the bag like that, or buy whatever item it is. So I think that we really are living in these sort of Hunger Games of luxury at the moment. I think this is where luxury is headed. Yes, times are quiet in your home store, but in really, really, really touristy places like I said, Paris, London, you know, Tokyo and Rome and places like that, and Dubai as well. In really touristy places, they're, you know, those touristy locations are absolutely rammed and heaving with clients, and the SAs there don't feel like they have to maybe try a little bit more with you. So I'm not so obviously if you're not going to buy many things, don't be like, oh, show me everything, then you buy one thing. No, but I think if you're going to pick up a few items, focus on the most expensive item that you're going to pick out, and then make sure you're like, oh, by the way, today I'm going to pick up, like at Louis Vuitton, today I'm going to pick up some sunglasses. Also, I'm interested in some ready-to-wear. Can you show me? I might pick something out. Okay, something like that. Make it sound a bit better and a bit more cohesive, but that is going to get you better treatment than, hello, I want to buy, okay, only sunglasses today. Because they're going to be like, girl, bye. Okay, they're gonna be tired. Be like, I don't want to help this girl. So I'd love to know what you guys think about this dragging like episode, and what do you guys think about the situation of luxury shopping in really touristy locations. It doesn't just have to be France. I tend to focus more on Paris and France because obviously I'm heading there very soon, so I'm very interested in the tea and what's going on in the boutiques in France. But like I said, I think that this is a great topic for any really touristy location in the world. What are your thoughts and what is your reading on this situation? I would love to know what you guys think. So please make sure that you're fully subscribed to my channel, and yeah, make sure that you also comment below, and the most important thing, make sure that you follow me on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok. Super important. Everything is linked below, and also go join my newsletter. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow in my next video.